Road users on the island are about to go through some changes over the next few months, with a few minor changes to the road code. New Zealand made a similar change in March of this year, and Cabinet have decided that Niue should follow suit. The proposal for the road rule changes went before Cabinet in July, and Niue Police has until October to get the public prepared for these changes. We spoke with Chief of Police Mark Chenery to go over what these changes are.
There's two real main changes, the left-hand rule change and the change to who gives way at the top of the T intersection. I sort of thought, apart from the fact that we do have a lot of New Zealand and Australian tourists here, that a lot of us that live here do spend significant amounts of time in New Zealand and or Australia back visiting family, and it made sense to just update our traffic rules to be consistent with our nearest neighbours and the people we go and visit the most, and Cabinet have agreed. When you're coming to turn left, you at the moment give way to a vehicle that is turning right into that intersection. And I know we're going to do visual stuff tomorrow, but now that vehicle turning left has the right of way, and the vehicle turning right into that controlled intersection has to give way to it. The other one, there's a very easy way to remember it, which is for an uncontrolled T intersection, you give way to the top of the T. So if you're turning right and there is a vehicle turning right into your intersection, again, which we'll show everyone tomorrow, you give way to that vehicle. Those are the two big things, because really here, apart from a few problematic intersections which we are sorting out with the assistance of PWD, we either have controlled T intersections like the one just behind us with a give way sign, or Tapa Hill is another good example with the stop sign, or we have uncontrolled T intersections where there is no stop sign. So yeah, those are the two main areas that will be addressed. What I'm hoping to do is get some pamphlets over from New Zealand that were used for the changeover that they had in March to make available to everyone. We'll hand them out to probably the hospital, to the Public Service Commission, so everyone can have access to them. And we'll have obviously stocks at the police station as well. And I've seen the pamphlet, it's nice and straightforward, it's got pictures on it that people can look at and take away. I'd like to have it have the rule changed by the 1st of October 2012. I haven't set that date in stone as yet, and I am waiting on just PWD's thoughts to try and change that hospital intersection that we talked about before. I know Dev Talangi assures me that they should be able to have it fixed and any confusion finished with within 2 months. So depending on his progress, that will decide when I actually make the date.
October 1st, that's like 2 months away. Do you think that will be sufficient time for people on the island to get their minds around these proposed changes?
Yeah, I think it is, because it's only two key changes that we're really looking at. And I think if we say 6 months, then by the time we get to it, people will have sort of forgotten exactly what we're doing. So I think 2 months is enough lead-in time that makes people, oh yeah, well it's coming soon. So I better pay attention and make sure I get what we're meant to be doing.
With the new rule changes, there will also be an update to the road code test that people sit before they get their driver's license. Niue Police will be rolling out a public awareness campaign to ensure that people are aware of the changes, and hope that common sense will prevail, with an expectation that there will be a few problems once the changes come into force. UFO Hospital has a few new faces this week as part of a new program taking in medical students keen to put their skills to the test. Senior Medical Officer Dr. Eddie Ekawala says that benefits of such a program are twofold, with students gaining experience and also patients gaining medical care and services. The program has yet to be formalized by the hospital and is expecting more students throughout the year.
This is just a ad hoc kind of program. There's no MOUs, there's no agreement or any paper signed. It's just the medical students emailed us here, and we give them the all clear to come if they wanted to come. Some students, they emailed they wanted to come, and they changed their program on the last minute. They decided to go to other countries. But most of the time they contact us by email first, and then we tell them yes or no, and then they will arrange the program from the other end, and they ended up here. But we have Aidan and Nishal all the way from London, from King's College, and we have got a few medical students coming in every now and then from all walks of all places, like London, Australia, New Zealand, and we are expecting one student from Germany coming around September. So this program, New FO, is helping the medical students to experience the way we practice medicine in this part of the world, because they come from third world countries who are very modern and high tech and high standard of practice, and they want to see what we are doing in this hospital. So they learn something and they take away something.
The benefits for Niue are not only to the health system, but also to the economy, as medical students are paying for their own way at no cost to the health department. We caught up with one of the medical students today to find out how the experience has been and what prompted them to select Niue.
And we sort of came across Niue by accident, never heard of the place. I started researching it and realised it'd be quite a unique opportunity. So such a small country must have quite an interesting healthcare system, quite an interesting population. Not to mention it was practically paradise. So yeah, we just all these different reasons kind of came together and thought we'd come here. So I am going into my final year of medicine, so my fifth and final year, which means I've covered most of the topics, but I guess in the final year it's just a review of what you've learned before, which is quite good to be able to practice this in Niue, where it's general medicine. We get to go through everything and relearn it. And I guess sort of time in Niue, what we've done so far. In the hospital, we spend the mornings just talking to patients. It's an open clinic, so whoever comes in, whatever health problems they have, we'll address them and deal with them. So we've been doing a lot of histories and examinations. Luckily, no one's too sick right now.
Niue is a long way from London, but the standards of care are similar. And although it may be a few years until these students consider specialising, Aidan said his sights set on surgery. The work experience has also been valuable.
I'm mostly interested in surgery, but one of the reasons I went into medicine was the opportunity to travel. As being a doctor is one of the few vocations where you can be hired anywhere in the world. So that's one of the things I get out of coming to Niue, is just the idea of what it's like to practice medicine abroad, and give me an insight into that. Oh, fantastic so far. I mean, I think you have to be used to the fact that you have to wait a week for supplies to come in and limited food, but I think it's a case of making the most out of what you get here. And so much of what's appealing about the island, the fact that it's so laid back and relaxed and everyone's so friendly, sort of relies on the fact that it is a quiet place and it's a nice place, and I think it suits my personality, so I'm very much enjoying it.
After their short stint in Niue, the students will be heading to Samoa for a comparative experience just at a larger hospital. Niue Touch Association has officially confirmed the touch rugby tournament postponement to the Federation of International Touch, citing difficulties experienced on the island and lack of air services to cater for the many competitors proposed to embark on the island in October. Reasons for the cancellation include the concerns because of dengue fever outbreak and the financial constraints to charter a flight, and the facts are the second air service will not operate till May 2013. Much of the preparation to receive the 5 countries for the international event has started, but not much can be said with the unavailability of flights expected to transport competitors to the island. Facilitators of the event, Niue Tourism, said after a lengthy consideration around the requirements needed to host the 2012 Oceania Touch Tournament, it was agreed that it would be in our best interest to postpone the event to next year. The demand for regional teams to attend this event has far exceeded the current airline capacity we have left available for October, as the number of those seats on the commercial flight has already been booked by other travellers. As the call to action for this event was done on the basis that the second flight would potentially proceed this year, we'll now look at facilitating this event next year, giving teams and the organising committee more time to prepare. The revised dates are still being looked at. However, the event will likely be held outside of the peak period and will need to coincide with the school holidays. Last week, the Federation recommended a postponement to July 13th to the 18th of the same month in 2013. 5 countries were due to arrive on the island for the October tournament: Papua New Guinea, Niue, Samoa, Tonga and Tuvalu. And to end our news bulletin for tonight, yesterday 12 architecture students with 2 lecturers from Auckland University of Architecture met with Niue government to discuss the concept of a new government house as part of their studies in Auckland. Much of the interest from the members of parliament during the discussions focused on a traditional building that will hold the importance of culture and language in its formation. The new whalefono proposed to erect on the second terrace at Niue Primary School, once the school relocated to Paliasi, is a draft at present. And Honourable Premier Toki Talangi said it is just a proposal at the moment without a concrete decision. The 2 lecturers that travel with their students, William McKay and Michael O'Sullivan, said it is important to collaborate on a building that is Niuean and people can identify with it.
Probably the most beautiful component of the landscape of Niue lies in the ground. You have some of the most beautiful rocks and stones here. You have some of the most incredible cave formations, which the Premier had alluded to. And what we want to try and avoid is that situation where, like in New Zealand, for example, in 1957, when Keith Holyoake was sitting beside an English architect, Basil Spence, and he did a sketch for him at lunchtime or dinner, and all of a sudden that became this iconic building for all New Zealanders. That's not the process that I think Bill and I are trying to sort of portray. We want one where the people of Niue speak about the architecture through the medium of these students and ourselves.
I think the message that came across really clearly was that the building had to represent the culture and heritage and language of the Niuean people, because it's about the people. It's not just for the 20 MPs, it's for everyone, to inspire them, as the Premier said, to build this great little country even better than it is.
Some of the students who will be drafting the building concepts all have different backgrounds, with some as far as Germany, South Africa and close as Tonga. We spoke to some of the students about their vision for the new Parliament House.
Something that the Niuean people can look at and enable them to feel at home and at peace and love in their hearts. And a building that says, yes, I am proud to be Niuean. So a form or a shape, despite what it might be, something that encapsulates the values of the Niuean people is what I envisage.
I think in general the consensus of all members of Parliament was just to try and find something that just reflects the identity. So it was mainly about the identity and something which inherits all these qualities. So I guess we yet have to get to know the island better to actually create an architectural idea of that. We would appreciate also more knowledge on the craftsmanship, Niuean craftsmanship. We would like to learn the weaving in the upcoming days and look into the traditional construction methods as well as contemporary means, but that will crystallize and come from the next days that we have on this island.
It's difficult for us to come in and say, you must choose that site, that's the one to take, because
you know, at the end of the day, you are using it and you are here every day. So there's that difficulty. And I guess we just have to work with what the people say and what the people want, and basically keep your interests in our heart. We as the students must take this opportunity that we've been given to meet all of you people and experience the land and come up with something that gives back to you guys and respects the land and the sea and all of the beauty that you have in front of you. I don't think that any design can shut that out. You have to embrace it.
It is expected the group will spend a couple of months drafting new ideas to present back to the Niue government. That's our news bulletin for tonight. Good evening.